Hello everybody, and thanks for checking out my review. Today I'm going to be going over the Casio ProTrek. This is the PRW-6600Y-2CR, and if you wanted to look up full detailed instructions before you purchase it so you know exactly what you're getting, just do a Google search on Casio module number 5571 and you'll get full detailed instructions. So getting into the box, it's a plain cardboard box. You have the green stripe along the side here. You have the Casio logo on the top here and Casio on the front. And you have the opening on the side, and on the back you have the barcode, and everything else is pretty much plain cardboard on the bottom and the sides. So getting into the box itself, you have your paperwork. So the first thing they're going to give you is a nice thick manual. It gives you all full detailed instructions in multiple languages. You have a little stand here that they typically get for retail stores, so you can just stand it up. You have the warranty card, information on the battery and the solar charging. You have atomic timekeeping, information there on the towers, which I'm going to get into shortly. And then, of course, you open up the inside of the box, and what you get is a wood box, also plain, nothing on any of the sides here. But what you do is you just open it up on the front or the top, and you have your watch here. So nothing else underneath. And this is the watch. All right, so I've had this watch for a little over a week now, and I've really been enjoying learning it, wearing it. It's a very casual, very comfortable watch. It actually breaks the mold in my mind from the typical ProTrek and the old Pathfinder series. Those watches would typically have a rotating bezel with the compass around here. This one actually has a very durable black ion-plated stainless steel bezel, and it's got the time zones imprinted around it. So this way, when you're going into the world time, it's really easy to change the countries as you're going along. It's got tough solar technology, so it charges the battery up for you. It's got multiband 6 atomic timekeeping, so it syncs up with 6 towers around the world. It's got 100-meter water resistance with a screw-down crown on the side. The size, it wears a lot smaller than it actually is. It's 51.6 millimeters from the width, 51.5 millimeters on the height, and then 13.6 millimeters thick, and then it's 78 grams on the weight. It's got triple sensor technology, so Casio typically brands it an ABC watch, so it's an altimeter, barometer, and compass. So the watch has a navy blue Durasoft silicone strap. The navy blue dial matches it really nicely. The nice thing about this strap is it's silicone, but it doesn't tend to attract dust the way typical silicones that I use on other watches would. It's got a lot of notches on the strap for sizing it for your wrist. On the back here, you have the aluminum back case with 4 screws, so this way if you ever needed to change the battery. You have the logo in the center, information around this outside of it. And then the strap changing is great because what you have is obviously the hole here, so if you have a spring bar tool, you could just put it in there and be able to release the straps easily that way. Or you have this little handle that's on the spring bar, so this way if you wanted to change it, you just dig your fingernail in there, and then you're able to just pull it out. And if you wanted to put the other strap on there, it's really easy to be able to do. So this is a really functional watch from the standpoint of being able to size it, being able to customize it, and then of course all the features that this watch has to offer. All right, so to walk into the modes, the first thing you'll know is that the hands are always going to stay in current time settings, so this way you can always read the time while you're going through them. The second thing that you're going to know is when you go into a setting, for instance, the barometer that we're going to go into in a second, they have what's called automatic hand adjustment. So what that's going to do is actually move the hand out of the way if you're looking to look at a reading that's important for the function that you're in. So when I go into the barometer, for instance, you're going to notice the hand is going to move out of the way, and it's going to give me a graph and the reading on the right side over here. So the way a barometer works is when you see that graph go up, a rising or steady pressure indicates that the clearing and you're going to have nice cooler weather. If it's slowly falling pressure, it's going to indicate rain. And if you get a rapid falling pressure, it's going to indicate that a storm is coming. So the second one that you're going to go to is the temperature. And the temperature is going to typically need the watch off the wrist for about 20 minutes to get an accurate reading. A lot of people complain about that, but basically it's going to read off of your body heat, so you're not going to get an accurate temperature until it's just exposed to the atmosphere. So that's why you have to keep it off your wrist for a few. So the third mode you're going to get into is what's called recall, and what that's going to do is it's going to record your altimeter positions when you're going on a hike or to a mountain climbing or anything along those modes. All right, so then we get into stopwatch mode, and when you're in stopwatch, all you have to do is press the bottom right button to get the stopwatch started. You press it again to get it to stop, and then you press the top right, and then it'll reset it. Then you go into the timer, and the timer is a 60-minute timer, and all you have to do is unscrew the crown. You pull it out one spot, and then you can change the minutes. Unfortunately, you can't change the seconds, but you're able to change the minutes. And the nice thing is when you keep rotating it, you're going to notice that it'll keep going up, so this way you don't have to keep spinning it. And once you're at where you want to be, push the crown in. And then you press the button. You'll see that it'll start the countdown. Press it again. That stops it. And then press the top right, and that resets it. All right, so then you get the alarm function. So when you get into the alarm, first of all, to turn it on or off, you just press the top left button. And if you want to set the alarm, what you do is unscrew the crown, pull it out, and to just change the hours, you just press the mode button, and then you can change the hours here, and you'll see the little A and P there. And what you want to do is if you want to be able to sift through the hours or the minutes really quick, you just spin it a few times, and you'll see that it'll go by itself. And then you just give it a quick twist back, so this way you're where you need to be. So if I wanted to get up at 7:30, I press the mode button again, and that gets me to the seconds, and the same deal. I spin it a few times, and then it'll move by itself. Now once I'm near where I want to be, I bring it back. It says 7:30 a.m. And it's got 2, 3, 4, 5 alarms, and then an hourly time signal. So this way it'll beep every hour on the hour. And again, if I want to turn it on or off. So that's the alarm. All right, so next up you have the world time. And what the world time does is it's obviously going to set the watch to the time zone that you're in. So what you would do is unscrew the crown once again, pull out the crown, and right now it's currently, as you'll notice, it's pointing up to Chicago. So if I wanted to move it up to New York, I rotate it up, and you'll see that the hour hand just moved for me. Move it up to the next one. So whatever city I'm going to, the hands are automatically going to move for me. And then once I'm there, I just push the crown back in. And I'm all set. And if I wanted to change the city and reverse them, I just hold on to the top left button, and it's going to reverse them for me. So this way, the second time zone is going to be in the mode, and then the primary time zone is going to be in the time zone that I'm in. And if I wanted to reverse it back, same deal. I just hold on to the top left button, and it'll reverse it for me. And then the atomic receive, that basically just shows when the last time I got a sync on it. So it was 4:05 a.m. on the 14th. So now to get into the compass, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the top right button. That's going to take me right over to the compass. And what it's going to do is it's going to use the second hand to show me the direction. And then I have the reading in the LCD. And then to get into the altimeter, I just press the lower right, and that's going to tell me what my feet above sea level is. So I'm going to have a little bar graph on the left side, and then I'm going to have the actual reading on the right side. And then I could record those and go into that setting that I was telling you earlier in the mode for the recording on that. All right, so to get into the settings of the watch, everything's going to work with the crown. So every time you go into a mode or you're trying to change something up, you're always going to use the crown to change that up. So what you're going to do is unscrew the crown to get into the time settings, and you're going to pull it out. And the first thing it's going to go to is the city. So what I want to do is I want to move that towards New York. And then if I want to go to the next mode, I press the mode button. and it's going to give me daylight saving settings. So I can either use auto, which I typically keep on, so that's going to go when I sync it up with the atomic clocks, it's automatically going to sync the daylight savings as well. Or I could just say it's going to be off or on. Well, like I said, I typically keep it on auto. The next one up would be mute or key. So basically every time I press a button, it's going to give me a beep every time I go in. So I could either mute that or keep it on. I typically keep it on. Then I have my auto light. So basically whenever I turn the watch over in the direction that I'm looking at it, it'll automatically turn on the light on the LCD. So typically I'll keep that turned off because it can burn through the battery a little bit. Then you have the duration of the light when you press for the light button. So you can either have it go for 3 seconds or 1.5 seconds. I typically keep it on 3 seconds. Then you have the option of 12 or 24-hour format. I typically keep it on 12, and that's for when you use the time in the LCD in regular timekeeping mode. Then you have the power save feature on or off. So that's going to keep all the electronics on or off. So this way it's in battery saving mode if you're in the low section. And then back to the regular setting there. So once you're set, you push the crown in. It registers everything's all set. And that's it there. All right, so another setting that you can mess around with is when you go into the altimeter, if you pull the crown out, you'll be able to adjust for how many actual feet that you're in. So if you feel like the pressure might be off or it might be off, you can adjust it with Google Earth, which is great. Then you press the mode button, and this gives you the intervals that it's going to record. So this way, when you look at those recordings in the mode, this is the intervals. It's either 5 seconds or every 2 minutes that it takes the readings. And you press it again, and you can have it be a differential of 1,000 meters, 100 meters. And then you can change your units. So it can either go with feet or meters. I typically keep it on feet, of course. And the same with the barometer. I can go into the barometer settings, and all I would do is pull the crown out, and I could adjust the readings. If I press that again, I could change the type of reading that it's going to give me. Push it back in, and that sets it. So those are your settings. Just to give you a comparison between the other ProTreks, you have the Casio PRT-B50 in the middle, you have the 2600 on the right, and then of course you have the 6600 right here. So the sizes as far as the width and height are pretty comparable. It really breaks down to thickness at this point. So if you look at the Bluetooth version, the B50, you're going to see that because of the bezel, it makes it a little bit higher. And the same deal with the all digital here, the 2600. And this one's got the wings that hold it in place on your wrist a little tighter. It's not the most comfortable because it's a little harder, so it actually takes away from the soft band, but also because of that bezel, makes it a little bit higher as well. So this is easier to wear during the day. And just to give you an idea of what it looks like on the wrist, again, it's really easy to size because of all the holes there for you. I typically like to keep it loose. And this is something you can actually wear with a pair of khakis and a golf shirt at the office or pretty much wherever you're going. I wouldn't wear it with a suit, but you could pretty much wear this whenever and wherever you want for the most part. All right, so that's it for the review on the PRW-6600. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please leave it in the comments section. If you like these reviews, please click on the subscribe button and click on the bell to be notified of future reviews. If you like this review, please click on the like or the thumbs up. And I want to thank you very much for your support. I want to thank Casio for sending this watch for review. Thanks again for your support over the years. Have a great day and stay safe.